feel juiced, especially after the last.
Yeah, last hour and a half. You should feel juiced.
You missed some of the best fireworks, and
You know what, Alton? As a kid, I really enjoyed fireworks. And
now
anybody die, get dismembered, have a altered state.
I would say we took off a couple fingers.
Oh, good.
I'm interested in how to create more containers where people can express their sublimated and unconscious and unknown rage.
Given that you're adolescent masculines and they've been taught that that's illegal, you're going to have to probably give them a format so they get used to going into a group setting and there's not a format. Not a great chance.
Took four-ish years, and we had some basic format things. Technically, we could.
What you got? Anything?
Well, yeah, I'm interested in more emotional fight clubs like this. Hell, it's not more of the default.
I was only there for 40 minutes, and you should not be the one saying that you're interested in more than that, given the way that you showed up. Unless something dramatic happened.
That's what
Did
I'm
you
saying.
take any hits?
There were
Did you
attempts.
hit anybody?
That's my certainly my story.
Oh, okay. You think Jokin would have hit anybody?
I don't know. I don't know if he opens into this. Yeah, and if that's how he goes by. But he, I notice I get my voyeuristic and exhibitionistic parts off in connection in these type of containers, but still very distinct from like playing all out in another one.
Yeah, I see. This is the problem because if you don't have a format, people are like, "Well, I want to play full out," and their psychology is like, "No, you're not. That's ridiculous. You can talk about your fantasies about oral sex or something, but you're not talking about the chipmunks. There is no way I'm going to let you talk about your fantasies with chipmunks, squirrels, Yokin.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have chipmunks where you are.
Well, I'm orienting towards this live stream more as a top of funnel for the more intense flavors. I think there's a lot of juice there, and I've experienced more and more of it the past couple weeks, especially, where I'd offer
Yeah,
like cold reads on people and
I don't understand what you
ways to detect and express sublimated rage, anger.
want. I suggest that you practice doing it in the privacy of your own bedroom first.
Yeah, that definitely unlocked a lot of it too, to hear how
Yep.
that impacted other people.
That,
Did they know what you were doing?
I told them before.
ooh, Alton, you're looking vaguely psychopathic. I like it. That's a good
That's
look.
part of the practice, is my understanding.
Yep, good.
In order to be
Now,
like the best gatekeepers, you have to like know how to meet the actual psychopathic parts where they're at in order to protect against them. Okay, so what's
is that
step two?
what?
What's step two after that?
Do so it's like
You should practice in the bedroom, and then now what? And then we have these
yeah,
little
you
containers.
practice in the living room, you practice with the witnesses, you practice being polite, you practice not being so light, you practice practice being evil. You know, it's just it's systematic desensitization. And it's not It's like public speaking. You practice by yourself, then you practice in front of the mirror, then you practice with a non-critical observer, then you practice with 2 or 3 critical observers, then you practice with a live crowd. I
Mhm.
mean, I mean, if you haven't gone through 2 or 3 punching bags already, I mean, if you want the easiest way to get to the rage parts, as far as I know, for most of the Western world, that punching bag and the aluminum bat is the best way to go. The difficulty is that it's a little tiny temple. And so what you're doing is you're taking the temple time to prove to yourself that you can actually be cracking the skull of your father as he's begging you not to, and feeling the pleasure of hurting him, and your world doesn't collapse or explode. That's the purpose, to get as deep as you can so that you can hold the container for it. So you're like, oh shit, that's the worst it gets.
Mhm.
And I've done it. And my head didn't explode. Ah, so now I can go talk to blah, 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 blah. I can practice because I know he's not my dad. And I can practice this stuff. I mean, there is a lot of juice to it, Alton, but the juice runs dry. And you have to figure out what the adult orientation to what this kid put away.
Mhm.
Because while it's really juicy to be yelling and frothing and screaming at somebody and they're doing whatever they're doing, sooner or later, that's going to run dry. And now you're like, what do I do when anger comes up?
What do you do when anger comes up?
I usually, for me, I had the philosophical come from that, 90% of all emotions are from historical inner children. So I just off ramp it.
Off ramp it by just writing it out and integrating it through IFS.
No, just you have to take the angry baby who feels completely justified and you have to drop it off a cliff. And you have to be able to say, I can't stop you from sending anger my way,
Mhm.
but I don't have to engage with it.
Do you also subscribe to all emotions or strategies?
Uh, I would say for the 3 standard deviation, yes. They can be, they can also be they can be very reflexive
Mhm.
if the stimulus is of the right kind. But if there's a pattern to them, yes, they're all strategic.
Mhm. How can I point that out such that people get unhooked when they occur to me as like in a trauma pattern or loop or got some white hot chains going on? You continue to sail away,
If they're in,
meet them where they're at. And I'm like, it's very
if
emotionally
they're in
involved.
a trauma response, there's nobody home. There is nobody home.
Yeah.
They are locked into a trauma,
Right.
and the only thing you can do is wait it out. Try not to re-trigger it,
Mhm.
and wait it out. As they get more practiced at it, you can wave a soccer card or something non-contextual at them. And
Right.
when they do that furrow crease, like they don't understand. Like you take somebody's ponytail and start waving it at them, and if you can get a question look on their face, that means that somebody else is home. Then you have the possibility of inroading.
Well, okay, so that's actually very nuanced and very beautiful. So wave something in their face when I project that somebody's super dysregulated and see if there's a question mark. If so, then they have enough psychological slack to entertain something. They're not like nobody's home
But
type of.
you have to be careful because if you wave a frying pan, that could send them deeper if they're in the threat
Yeah,
response. And it has to be out of context. If you're talking about sex and you wave a pair
just
of underwear at them,
just
not a
do
good
lanes.
idea.
Just do lanes.
Yeah,
That's always on my hands, so I could just
Yeah, and he has to be careful because they could do, oh, you're just making fun of me, you bastard, you bastard. You do it much more fluidly. I bet you practice. You've practiced, haven't
Do a lot of these finger things
you?
here.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. I think I do that with my facial expressions. I intend them to be pattern interrupts when I make up that somebody's in some like pattern loop and nobody's home. And I want to bring them
No, you use
presence.
them. No, your facial stuff is about you. If it's enough, and if they've seen it enough, it becomes a. What you can do is you can carry around a dildo in your pocket. That usually.
So, okay, a pattern interrupt has to be something.
Jokin is going through his list of all of his dildos and saying, I can't carry any of those in my pocket. Jesus Christ. You're full of shit, Gray.
That was a nice interrupt.
Yeah. See? Humor is one of the best interrupts, but it's knife edgy. If you get it wrong, they can go crazier.
Yeah, well, there's always a risk of that. I think that's worth it.
Yeah. See, now that is Alton. That is the Alton that's like, you know what, Cray? I really want to push him over the edge. I don't want them to come back to their senses.
Yeah, why
I
don't
want to try to do
tolerate that?
something. Yeah.
Complicit in their mediocrity.
Yeah. There you go. Ooh, God, you're going to be such
Your audio is notably worse. I'm wondering what happened for your.
Oh, I changed my headphones because it's too hot to wear headphones.
Oh, yeah, it's
Hang
quite
on.
thin. It works. It's better now that it's in front of your beard, but
Well, there's no, just so you know, Alton, there's no microphone here.
okay, then my perception there.
Yeah.
You're probably because you're leaning close to the computer too. That's my guess. Oh,
No,
that's yeah.
these things have a microphone in.
Yeah,
So I'm trying to get a new
auditorily
webcam.
decent at
And I'm trying to get a new set of these.
okay.
But the ones I want ones like this that you don't have to take that little teeny tiny plug on that 4-inch goddamn cord and plug them in. I want a set of these that you just can put on the charger.
Hmm.
Anyhow, but it'll be winter in 3 months and I can go back to my other set. So. Yokin, what's going on with you?
Oh, I started listening to Ishmael, and I'm enjoying it.
Oh, that's a good one.
So thanks for the recommendation.
Oh, my pleasure, sir. I think you'll enjoy the second one a little bit better. More science, less drama.
I don't mind drama.
I don't know what, and what's really funny is that I think they're very poorly written. And so he's written probably 9 or 10 books, and his last book was really well written. I'm like, either he's getting coaching or he's hiring a ghostwriter. But his last book was really, really good. The Holy, I think it's called. Really a good read. All right, what else? Come on.
If your life is a psychological thriller, what are some of the things that happen next in your life?
Psychological. I'm going to get pregnant.
Hmm.
And I would really appreciate what that question is actually, what that actual question is.
Maybe something
You
like, what's your deepest fear?
My deepest fear. Being locked in a coffin that's full of ticks.
it's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. I
Handfuls of
hate ticks.
cereal. Hmm.
Jokin's gone to sleep.
No, I think my worst fear is really more in the social domain. Like if I don't know, tomorrow not, but like Friday I go to work and everyone just like looks at me like I'm some kind of piece of dirt or something. I think that still for me would be more like like horrifying if everyone around me, including my husband, all of a sudden think I'm like the worst human being that they know, like, in that direction. Maybe a bit more subtle to make it really horrible, because like if it was so obvious, you know.
Yeah, I have spent so much of my life people hating me that's just like,
Yeah, yeah.
hmm.
For me, that's probably like one of the worst things that I can imagine. Maybe because I haven't gone through enough physical pain. I don't know.
Well, I was interested in like if your life is actually a psychological thriller, then like what shape of things happens next? Where's the plot dragging in your life?
The plot is dragging me towards writing a fucking book about dojo physics. That's about as horrible as it gets. I don't want to do it.
Well, I mean, where's the plot dragging as in like where's it slowing down or where is it not happening?
Every There are changes in my meaning making of the world. There are changes. There are some people taking some big bites. Sophia Jones just did that thing, which to me was like, you know, it was idiotic, but it was a hell of a jump.
Hmm.
I want to be with people who are willing to do things like
Yeah, makes sense. Gorgeous.
that. Yeah, it's just like, and being with people who really have no critical thinking skills, I'm just like, no, go back to college, okay? I want you to
Mhm.
actually pay for the tuition this time yourself
Mhm.
and take courses in critical thinking. A whole year of it. I can't say that sentence. Gee.
You seem critically missing. Why did you engage with them for so long?
Because nobody else was even close.
Don't forget the cream. If someone is chronically ill around you, how do you interface with them, especially working in
And
hospitals?
make their life comfortable.
And to what extent does it like impinge on your own comforts and life?
How long did I stay there, Fulton?
I don't know like what the ratio is, but not particularly long.
I'm
I've
just
been
like, oh,
feeling, I had like some of the worst stomach pains I've had in my entire life. And like a couple days ago, and I'm like, wow, this is like really rough. Some people just live their whole lives from here. How could like this food poisoning thing? I don't know. How could some people just live from chronic fatigue or something? And
yes. That's why I don't go out. That's why I don't go out into the bushes. I know people with Lyme, and this destroyed their life. There's nothing that walking around in vegetation is worth that's better than that outweighs the chance of getting Lyme.
mhm. Yeah, we have high chances of Lyme here. But I understand if you, as long as you check yourself every 24 hours, then
Mistakes happen.
all right.
What was the question? Where are we going? How
How do you
long do you
rate
put
yours?
up with simpering idiots?
Yeah, both
I don't
people
know,
who like
5 years, Alton. How
Mhm.
long has this been?
Have years of non-critical thinking.
You critical think all the time. You're just shitty at taking action.
I see in this particular context in ways that are legible to you is what you're implying.
Yep. What else am I'm
Yes, what?
referencing the video. I'm referencing the video cameras I have up where you are.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, I mean, yeah, through other people and through the results that are embedded and constituted in here, and some parts of the life log I've uploaded or had on the different groups, like the private one that you're in.
how did you like my rewrite? Rewrite.
That was gorgeous to me. That was
Oh,
exactly. I just surprised that it wasn't already obvious. And then I read it more and I saw how that was more clearly the case. And appreciate the simple language that you used and making it more legible.
You're welcome.
What are you activating to draw that, to make that more legible?
The desire for legibility. It's like I translated it into German, and you're like, "How did you do that?" I took the French and translated it to German. I took the
There's like
flowery language and turned it into steak.
there's like a desire for understanding or applying something or okay. There's a certain come from. I'll ask a more nuanced question when I have it. And hey, Ethan.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Ethan. Let me guess. You're either a literature or a philosophy major. What else is such? You like a well-written book?
I don't
Hmm?
see this guy called Cray in here.
Yes, he's gone.
Wait, so you're doing like a little cold read on me? Is that what's happening?
I'm just looking around. I'm entertaining myself because you're not entertaining me. So I gotta entertain myself.
That sounds good.
My stories do entertain me. You're a philosophy major, English major, literature major, something like that. You do like the BDSM scene. Branding would be preferable than tattoos.
Branding.
Yeah.
Um, it's kinda 0 for 3.
Yeah.
But I do like receiving attention. So if you
Yeah.
want to do more, that would be great.
You're gonna have to be more entertaining.
Okay, so like 3 months ago or something when I heard about this chat, this like whole thing from Alton, it was like you can explore
Yeah.
things that you never even seen before. And now
Yeah.
like I kind of have high expectations now, I'm come in and
I love dashing your hopes. I'll see how stupid I can show up just to make you.
oh, that would be disappointing for me.
What do you want? Come on, I got 40 minutes of this horrible thing to go through. Give me something to work with.
Cool. What do I want? Well, I'm kind of just
Aside from glasses.
packing this afternoon, so it seemed like a really opportune time to try something I haven't tried before, which is this call. It's like on my calendar every week, and I'm just never showing up to it. I
There's something that's painful for you that you want that you haven't had for maybe your entire life. And I have it that if I speak words to Cray around that topic, that I find those things happen to fall into my life within weeks, sometimes hours.
Craze the magical unlock.
Oogie, boogie, boogie, woogie. Woogie, woogie, woogie.
If you're willing to take it on, I mean, but it's like going to the gym. The coach can point out things and practices and reps, but you actually have to do the reps.
Yeah. Well, here's okay. I'm bringing a thing. There's a distinct sense of what's the there's a sense of rush of
FOMO?
no like false end or something like that. It feels quite often painful, and I'm unpacking what it actually is. Time is out.
False end. FALSE, new word END.
Yeah. That's a phrase I associate with fear, but it's not exactly a precise fear thing.
I have never, and I've been doing this a long time. You have succeeded in bringing something new to the table.
That's great.
All 10. Like, like you fear that this is the end, or you think that the ending is really, they're just telling you it's the end? Like somebody's breaking up with you and saying this is over, and you're like, oh, this is just a test.
No, no. Like something like time actually terminates or something like that. Like
It's a philosophical construct. How does that live in your life?
yeah. No, I know it's abstract. Um,
Can you point to an example?
yes. Um, I'm looking for work and there's a tear about committing to something because there's only so many years or time. And it's not quite fear of death. It's like
Fear of making the wrong decision.
there's a fear of making a wrong decision, but there's like there's like the associated like rush. There's rush. There's like
Time is running out.
time is running out.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a way to torture yourself. Like there's no way of saying that's not true. I mean,
Yeah.
that's brilliant. Okay, so you're not stupid. Good, I like that.
Whoa.
So that's a painful thing that I'm with fairly often right now.
Okay, so if you're choosing a job
Yeah.
and time and whatever it is, and time does run out, what's the awful consequence?
Wasted life
How do you
done.
know it's wasted?
I know that's what comes up. I know it's wasted. Bad, bad, bad,
So
bad, bad, sad,
so
bad.
no matter what decision you make, it's going to be seen as the bad decision, and you will have wasted your life.
There's something about like not like lack of faith in learning or something like that, like pivoting or
Yeah, but
learning.
you've learned your whole life, and you can see that it has results. So that's a racist comment. No bearing on the thing. You know that learning is
I know that learning is what? Say again.
effective.
I know. This feels like orthogonal.
Or active.
Uh, learning. Maybe like lack of trust in like moving away from stuff that actually doesn't feel good is part of this like rush sense. Like I have to
Wait. This is. I mean, I don't know where you got this one, Alden, but this is fun. This is a good puzzle. So where? So wait. Do that one again.
I'm giving you associated content
Yeah.
in the hopes that it like opens.
Flowers and something. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Fear that the reasons not to do something aren't correct.
no, so there's the time is running out. The
Yep.
time is running out. Rush something. And there's an adjacent like I'll make wrong choices and not move away from things that feel bad.
So pretend these aren't bugs, but these are features.
Great.
What does that have? What does that? If you get stuck that time is running out, then how is that a feature? That's going to keep you making bad decisions? What kind of decisions do you make categorically when you're being pushed by time is running out?
All of them right now.
Yeah, but how do you categorize them? Are they good? Are they soul driven? Are they aligned with your purpose? Are they full of shit?
So the prompt is when time is running out, I make decisions that are blank.
Yes.
When time is running out, I make decisions that are bad, long-term shitty, I don't know, like non-belonging, survival, something like that. Survival.
And what's the matter with surviving? Why is that a bad thing?
It's
Because
more
it's
like
not a
it's
higher.
more like staying in survival instead of like something higher order or something like that.
Right. So just on the very basis, the childhood belief is I have no
I lost the end of that sentence.
I have no higher order.
Yeah. I have no
That-
higher order.
right. So
I am going to be stuck here
no, I am stuck here.
I am stuck here.
Right. And so rather than give yourself the space to make a higher order decision and prove that it's not true, you're going to put yourself in situations where you have to make short-term gains all the time because you
Sure.
can't be blamed for it. It's that fear. It's the time is running out that's making you make these decisions. So
Yes.
you're protecting yourself from the proof that you are a piece of shit, that you have no higher order things, that you're not connected to God, that you're just a biological accident. There's no higher purpose for you. That's the hypothesis that there's something like that that generates that from your childhood.
Sure. Let's roll with that. That's not a distinct belief that I recall from. There's no associated memory, and it's not something that but yeah, let's something resonates. Let's
So
go.
what in your culture of your childhood, what were considered to be higher goals, like priesthood or
No, no. I There was some self-image of leadership, but that was very young. That was young and it didn't stick around for a while. There was
so the models that you saw around you,
yes.
was there anybody that you could point at and say, look, they're doing the higher order follow?
There's some dad stuff in terms of like, being effective or powerful or something, but it doesn't quite fit. It doesn't fit this.
So are
But
you effective in your life?
the idea of one second, the idea
Yeah.
or the belief about like finding purpose and not just navigating is
Yep.
resonant. Yeah.
Yeah. So so
Like it's
why
gonna
would you
like it's just gonna click in at some point. It's just gonna,
Yep.
yeah.
So why would you as a child believe that you didn't have
Oh, this is fun. I have to because everything else kind of sucks. I'm stuck, and so I'm gonna create some kind of belief that there's something else.
So when you're a kid, things are evident. It's not that you actually create these things in your mind.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting here and you're saying that there's this clicking into a more significant way of making decisions, that's not something that was just generated out of your head. There has to be, there was a value system back there someplace where people were like, oh, she's just following her sexuality and not being a mother, or he's just giving in to his emotions and he's not thinking it through.
Yeah, what comes up is that there was this like repeat question reflected at me, which is like like a very broad, like, what do you really want?
Yeah.
Something like that. Um, and it was unanswerable, and
What
also
kind of
really,
people, what kind of people don't know what they want?
uh,
Yep. Those kind.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of people don't know what they want? Lost.
What they really want. Yeah. And I think you bought into that.
Yeah.
And you're like, and you're highly intellectual. And so you're like, there's an infinite things of them. Blah, 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 blah. But where's your God choice? What's your soul's purpose?
Yeah, it's no one would have ever said that to me as a child. No one was God or soul or anything. But there's still that flavor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I did buy in to purpose. I do a bit.
Wow. That's some good answer.
Huh?
You're moving really wonderful.
Oh yeah, I'm here for it. I'm um it's quite like humiliating um or
What?
something.
What is me? To be without God, without a soul purpose?
Yeah, to like not know.
Yeah.
That's what's humiliating, to not have this
All right.
like knowing.
So in the dojo world, that's the child's understanding. And
Yeah.
the adult's understanding is, and this is me, okay? There is no God. I wasn't born with a soul's purpose. I'm just doing the best I can with what I have. And I don't have to answer to anyone about this. There's nobody to answer to.
I don't yeah. Okay. All right. I'm not a something part of me really doesn't like that. It really doesn't
Yep.
enjoy that. But it's not the like what is it? Like I don't care what you think about my choices, but I still need to go to you for guidance or something like that. Like I'm still gonna seek like rightness from another figure or something like that.
May I?
What?
Can I ask you a question?
You've been. Please keep continue.
Okay.
What about this question is different from the other questions?
Usually when I ask may I, it means I'm about to say something that I think you might need a seatbelt.
Okay.
So I think that you want to go and ask other people for their opinions
Uh-huh.
because they're looking at the thing from a different point of view than yours. Doesn't make you less than, doesn't make them more than, just means that they have a different point of view.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the adult perspective. The kid perspective is I have to go to mommy or daddy to get because I'm too stupid to know what the answer is and they know everything and they'll tell me the answer.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Are you doing the Tibetan sign of respect or?
No, it's just ugh, it's just gross to not have an answer, man. It's gross.
That's the
This
kid.
part this part wants it so badly.
That's the kid. Yes. What's the adult? There are no answers. There's opinion.
No, I'm pretty blended with this part. There's an answer.
Stop it. God damn it. Stop being blended.
You enjoy arguing for your limitations.
Huh?
Yeah.
You enjoy arguing for your limitations.
Arguing for my limitations.
Alton likes to coach people to their smallness.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Says a small person. I'm important. I'm important. I'm small and I'm important.
so what does it look like if I don't argue for?
Yeah. Be careful. Be careful,
Why be careful?
because if you taste freedom, you're going to be hooked.
Yeah. I can accept from an adult place that we're just kind of trying shit and there's no, you know, right answer. But there are also ways to have a really shitty time.
Why would you choose those?
That's the I don't trust my ability to learn. That's
Oh,
the
fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in. That's such bullshit. That's like, I believe in fairies and Tinkerbell. I don't believe in my ability to learn to discern better. But what? I agree with you. Right now, you don't know a male salmon from a female salmon. Okay? But I'm pretty goddamn sure that within a very short amount of time, you could learn what the difference is. Yes, you're right. Sometimes you're going to make shitty decisions. And in every decision that you make, it's the best decision that you can make in that moment, given what you got. Yeah. Yeah, that's you at what, 6,
something
5?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop trying to please whoever it was that wanted you to have definitive answers. Yeah.
Uh just give me the fucking answer.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Ugh. Gross. 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 Fucking gross.
Oh. If you want to have some fun with it, go to places where you normally know what you want and roll dice about the decision. When you go into your favorite restaurant and you know exactly what you like, exactly what you want, roll dice about what you're ordering.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
That'll kick it up.
Oh, here's a thing. Here's a thing. I feel pretty good about where we got to already, but
Oh, thank you. Thanks for letting me know about that. I feel
the
so relieved that you feel good.
there's something about like shame for lack of commitment, and that's why I have to find the thing and commit to it. Like I have to find it, and then that's my thing. That's what I do.
Commitment. Do you know what the reality of commitment is?
Give me it.
The better offer hasn't come along yet.
I don't know about that.
Of course not. You believe in real commitment. You know? No matter what people commit to, you can create a thought experiment where a better offer is going to come along and they're going to be like, I am bailing.
Mm, no, my enduring pattern says I'll just keep doing it.
Really? Give me an
Yeah.
example of something that you're committed to that you would not become uncommitted to.
There's no example I can give you.
Oh, so you're saying that commitment is the better offer hasn't come along.
It's a fuzzy something. But I'm not tied to this belief. We can give that
Then
one.
you're okay with being fuzzy, not being committed the way that other people think you should be committed.
No, it's not simple, right?
Oh, it is that simple. Race is not real. Stop using that word. If you want to be bigoted, you can't be racist because there is no such thing as race. You can hate people for lots of reasons, but there's no thing called race. If you want to hate people because they have darker skin than you, that's fine. What I think you're hearing is people are saying you would work harder if you were more committed, or you would do something if you were more committed, as if the commitment is the motivator for you to work harder or cleaner or something. Not true. All they're really saying is that we want you to work differently. We want something else to show up.
Yeah,
We're
we
going
want
to
you
use
to
a
work.
code word called commitment.
We want you to like neglect a bunch of things that actually feel good or something like that.
Or something. Yeah. We want
Yeah.
you to take your attention from there and put it here.
Yeah.
And you're like, look, I'm doing what I've contractually agreed to do. That's what this is. I am in a contract here, and I think I'm fulfilling the contract. I'm not going above and beyond the contract. If you want me to work harder, pay me more.
Yeah. All right, Cray.
All right.
One question I had, Ethan, is when you started with this experience of time is running out, have you, in the recent weeks, had more than a minute-long experience where you didn't feel time was running out, and where now looking back, you still feel that that was like the way that you felt was genuinely indicative of time not running out, where it was
Yes,
not an illusion?
I would even say I have frequent experiences of time not running out or time not existing or timelessness or something, but within the contracted state, it's very within the contracted kind of like awareness. It's hard to see. Hard to see that. Yeah, I'm still with I'm like
Pac-Man.
yeah, chewing.
Oh, good. Do you ever swallow? Or?
No.
There you go. Damn. And now I know why I'm malnourished.
That's a pretty good one. I do a lot of chewing. I do a lot of chewing.
Yes, you do. Wonder where you learned that. Wait a minute. I keep chewing, you can't. I'm not really ingesting this piece of bullshit. Okay, I'll chew it for hours. I will chew my peas until they have become air.
What's the context, Ethan?
Sorry?
What?
I dropped in the middle. What's the context?
The context is
Personal evolution of cosmic Wiener Schnitzel.
context is unpacking a sense of time running out and this stuck belief about like finding a correct decision or something like that. Yeah.
I'm so glad you two speak each other's language. That was nice to see.
Okay. What language do you speak?
I don't know. Nobody seems to reflect it accurately as functionality, critical thinking, maybe. Seeing your emotions and thoughts as data rather than truths.
As a what rather than truth?
Looking at your emotions
Yeah.
and your thoughts as points of data
Oh yeah.
rather than demands for action.
Great.
So that means that you could swallow.
I'm very into this chewing versus swallowing now, this thing. Whatever you just served up.
Just swallow. No.
No.
Exactly. And
No.
that's really interesting.
No, you
That's like,
motherfucker. I'm not gonna fucking
yeah,
swallow it.
exactly.
You can't make me.
Yep. That is interesting. You have inadvertently stumbled across something that is a very tight monoculture for you. Probably a trauma response.
Great. What has it be interesting to you?
Because he was like, I'm saying something. It's silly. It's stupid. We're talking words, and I say, oh, you chew a lot. He says, yeah, I chew everything. I said, you could swallow, and he's like, no. And I'm like, well, that's an unusual response. It's a metaphor, you idiot. Oh, stop. I'm not swallowing anything.
Yeah, it's a more core poking at something.
Yep.
Um, the reaction is pretty evident.
How do you generate like being interested in that or it? I notice I feel dismissive and frustrated when people occur to me as having trauma responses to things, or like white hot chains.
Because you see them as something that's not tasty. You're not. You think that dancing into somebody with a white hot chain is going to result in something that is not fun. I'm looking at Ethan and going, okay, maybe some blood, maybe some guts, maybe he'll actually hurt me. That would be fun.
Huh.
Maybe, it's intimate. Dancing with a white hot chain is really intimate.
I don't know if I
Okay.
want to be dancing with someone who is excited about the idea of being hurt from this interaction. That's kind of like a weird secondary transmission thing.
If you
Well,
if you actually can do something that creates some sort of noxious response, though, I'm like, wow, it's the same thing you did with I won't swallow.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
yeah.
Curious, you presumably are avoiding making sort of finite, like applying any sort of like finality to your decision making out of an aversion to like some negative consequence, right? Like you're like if you make a final choice and it's the wrong quote unquote choice, then like bad things will happen, right?
Bad things will happen. I'm stuck. I'm uncomfortable.
Can't you just reassess from that point and then like continue from there? Like
That's what adult logic is comfortable with, and
Emotional logic is not.
yeah. There's an underlying like
Do you dance, Ethan?
a lot in the last year, a ton. It's so good, so good.
Like
Why?
improv or ecstatic or ballroom or
Contact improv and fusion, mostly fusion, or mostly improv stuff. Contact improv and fusion. Yeah, it's been a borderline spiritual practice last year.
it looks like you have become aware that you have hips.
Say more.
It looks like you become aware that you have hips and you enjoy having them in motion and
Yeah.
you're beginning to be okay with people noticing.
Oh, sure. That's yes. Yep. I'm with that.
Yep. Alton doesn't have hips yet, but we're working on it.
It's really great to have hips. It's a little scary, and then it's kind of hot.
Mhm. It is hot.
I
what are
don't
some
quite have
practices
an
I
eye
can
for
learn
it
from
yet
Ethan?
sometimes. What's up?
What?
What are some practices I can learn from Ethan around having filling in more hips?
Ask him to take you dancing.
Okay, that'll be like a 8 or 9 out of 10 for me. What's like a
And
3?
your problem with that is what?
I typically get blown
What
out
is
for
an
like
8? No, stop it. He's
Okay.
taking you to, it's not that he's going to ask to do a private dance with you. Okay? He's
I don't
going
think
to
that's
say,
what
okay,
he's concerned about.
relax. Do you understand sarcasm, Ethan?
Yeah.
Sarcasm?
I didn't sense sarcasm, but Yeah.
Yes, I know. Obvious. Alton, you're going to call him up and you're going to say, "Hey, I'd like to go dancing with you," and he's going to say, "Okay." And he's going to say, and you're going to say, "When?" He says, "Sunday, 2 o'clock, this address." And you're going to say, Alton's going to say, "Hey, could you show up about 20 minutes early? I really want you to understand how crazy making this is for me." And Ethan's going to be very supportive, and he's going to say, "Okay, fine, I'll see you there at 20 till." And then you're going to go in, and Ethan's going to understand after your talk just how big a trigger this is. And he's going to be really gentle. And he's going to show you a couple of moves. And he's going to say, "Just practice this. You don't have to talk to anybody. It's just about you being here with your body, moving it in what you think is in time with the music. That's all we're doing. We're not picking up chicks. We're not scoring drugs. We're just coming here in as safe a manner as possible for you
Yeah,
to explore moving your body."
I still feel much more interested in things that are much more bite-sized. And I hear what you're saying about that's what you really think is like the next step. And I'm like, I've attempted
Then
this several times with other friends too, and
Alton, watch a guy doing swing dancing and practice in the privacy of your own room.
I want to offer that the first maybe like 4 or 5 times I went to Contact Improv, I probably had a panic attack, and it was worth it. I don't know that changes your decision landscape, but whatever it was that people were doing there was so like I wanted it so fucking badly that
So does Alton.
it was just
So
worth it
does Alton.
to go through that experience. I
But
think
he can't.
there are probably nicer ways to do that for yourself though that aren't what I did, but
Alton, you
I
want
don't
to
yet see it.
captain.
Yeah.
You want to captain that ship. The only way that you're going to get people to agree to that is if you demonstrate things that are beyond them. You have
Yeah.
to be able to say, "You can do an 8. It's not pretty. It's not fun. But you can do it."
Mhm. You're saying there's no gears between. I mean, okay, well, I heard just watch a video and
It's
then
fine.
practice.
Ask Ethan to come over and teach you some dancing. Ask the women there to teach you some dance moves that involve your hips. Fine.
Yeah. That's very much more accessible or legible to me.
So the thing I'm trying to point to, Alton, is that sooner or later, people are going to want or need or something. They're going to be on the 30-meter board and platform. And you need to be able to look at them and say, "I've done it.
Need to say what? Sorry.
I've done it. I have gone off the 30-meter board because I said so."
I feel no shortage of other areas in which I have done similar things.
Oh, yeah. Enough said.
Thank you. Great. I want to give people like packets to take into the world, like Ethan and Rand, to be able to enroll, or people listening to enroll others in their life in taking on more deliberate dojo practices work, like how to design an exercise. I still have it that how designing exercise is like 2 to 3 hours minimum buy-in to like ramp somebody up to that. I imagine that we could still do it with like 20-minute to 40-minute packets.
Sure. How many of those do you want? So what you're saying is, I want to package a pony ride.
Basically to whet people's appetite in a much lower
Sure.
buy-in context where
Sure.
it's like
No
weird.
problem.
Okay.
How many do you
designing
want?
the exercise. So whatever we unpack today, it's like taking that and then going and doing a practice or something. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah,
There's
to have the seed generate for that type of thing to happen. Yeah.
what you have to do is, if you're working against a restrictive belief pattern, you can think about it, you can talk about it, but the work is actually having the pattern flare and do something different.
Yeah.
Doesn't the rest of it's just window dressing.
Yeah, I'm interested in your frame around that.
If you friend me on Facebook, I posted a really nice design that worked up for somebody else. And you can see what it is. If you go to craiggrimont.com, there's a document somewhere on that website that's how to craft an exercise.
How to craft an
Exercise.
introduction to crafting exercises.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Great.
It's very nuanced. I think it covers a great like 95, 98% of exercises. You don't need to be that anal with all of them, but it's a really good place to practice first, is to be that anal with your exercise. But most people don't. Most people just wing it.
Cool. I'm interested in that.
Look at really look at the Facebook post from today. It's a really great nuanced. It's low. It's not terribly complicated, but it's a long slog to get through. It's a month-long practice. It's a long slog to get there, but it should fundamentally change their perspective on their life. Pony rides, okay?
It's to
It
whet their
seems
appetite, to
this
ramp
seems
up.
general rather than like specific to embody this thing. Is that
Yeah. Which
Okay.
one?
Well, for me it would be swallowing.
Yeah. Yes. So you have to practice. You're going to have to build an exercise around swallow. So it's probably somewhere where you're chewing something. I don't know what chewing is.
Everything.
No, you don't chew on how to wipe your ass. Okay. You chew about a lot of low level things. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
But we're interested in the high. Like maybe it's choosing. Ooh, that's a good term. Rian, if you keep putting out those little bite-sized bits of you instead of putting you out, you're training people to pay attention to your little verbalnesses and be charmed by those. And when you start interacting with them, they're going to be disappointed because you're not just a long string of those.
Maybe I am.
You're not.
I've
So it's like
been trying
if your partner
rewriting.
Ethan says where do we go for dinner, and 6 hours later you're still chewing about it. The exercise is to randomly pick one out
Mhm.
and see what happens. You'll still get food. You'll still fulfill the function of a restaurant. But what happens when you don't analyze it, when you don't chew it for a good 20 or 30?
Yeah.
Spontaneity.
I've had a lot of benefit in doing things like things that don't allow stopping, like you talked about the improv stuff, but also like free writing where you don't allow yourself to stop writing even if you just write, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write, or different art things where you don't stop dragging your pencil across the page or whatever, that kind of thing,
Mhm.
rather than be afraid of fucking it up.
Yeah, there's something that's I'm with you, and I've done a lot of the like unblocking-y stuff. You know, like I did 3 giant pages in this notebook of morning pages for like a year, and I'm like, we can, we can roll with that. But there's something about the actual moment of like finality that I'm like not.
And so we're going to find a lot of places where you can have the experience of that finality. and we're going to slow it down.
Yeah.
And we're going to see what that 6-year-old says.
The image that I'm ending up with, Ethan, is like in a week from now, you go to Vegas and do a shotgun wedding with a completely random person, and then you just like try it out for a year.
I
Hey,
love it. I love it. That's it. That's like exactly the thing. Is like really the idea, really like if I had the faith that after a year I could still like just completely change it, then I'd be like, sure, yeah, okay, that even sounds like I love things like that. But they're like, ooh, if I can't change it later, holy shit. Oh my God.
do you have any tattoos?
Nope.
Off you go.
No,
At least
that's exactly my objection to tattoos is like later I might change my interpretation of it or something like that. And
Wow, that sounds like a really
So-
ossified permanent like tattooed belief you have about permanence.
So, Ethan,
oh,
I'm
yes.
serious. Go get a tattoo.
Okay, what's like the
No,
what's like the
no.
5 out of 10
No,
version of it,
no,
right?
no. Wait a minute. What's the horrible thing?
It's a bad choice. It's a bad choice.
Why?
Bad.
Why?
Because I might want it to not be there.
That's true. I absolutely agree with you. Why shouldn't you live into that?
Uh,
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to break the back of that, go pick a nice innocuous tattoo and put it someplace there. Don't get it on your ass, whatever, but just get it someplace where you won't mind, and you'll have a great story to tell. You know what? I was once trapped by a meme one time, and the only way I could get out was get this little heart with mom written in it on my left bicep.
great.
Just don't get the swastika in the middle of your forehead.
What? Gray. Why are you so bigoted against swastikas in people's foreheads?
I'm not against swastikas. Manson is not a big fan.
What about the
Protecting you
Buddhist?
from
Charles
getting
Manson.
jumped on the street, I suppose.
Ethan,
Yes. Yes, sir.
get the tattoo.
Is there anything else that I could do?
Oh, for God's
like
sake.
renounce sex or like,
Yeah.
go to the top, is there anything else that I could like
Fine, I don't care.
wanna donate a kidney?
donate? Yeah,
Is
donate.
this
Yeah.
the story of your life that you want to be reading?
Say
That
again.
he stopped from action
Yeah.
on a 1-inch tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Your story. At least you're
Oh,
not
that's
like,
exactly what I want to do though. That's exactly I want fucking this is like it's right here. This is it. This is it.
Yep.
This is it. This is the only thing that's happening.
go get the tattoo. And then run over to Alton's house and show it to him and saying, we're going dancing now. If I can get a fucking tattoo, you can come dancing with me in public right now. And he will do that. Alton will do that, and he will get in the car with you, and he will suffer through his huge trauma of being in a dance hall and looking silly. If he's smart, he'll ask to see it before he believes you. He's a very trusting guy. Anything else?
I will complete that around month. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, no, you should go dancing. Dancing.
We can hang on the dance floor.
Oh,
Yeah, we can go dancing.
guys, I've got to loosen yourself up a bit. Okay. See you next week. Jochen.
Nice to meet you guys.